Some people are of the opinion that Brits can't move to Spain on a permanent basis following the Brexit vote, which took the UK out of Europe. And I completely understand why, because, you know, we're not really told about this on mainstream media anymore. And nobody's advertising on television in the UK to say to Brits, leave and go and live in Spain. I'm fairly certain there's rules against that. Have you ever noticed that nobody ever puts an advert on saying, come and move in our country? It's because the governments want to keep you there for their own tax. But that's another conversation. So look, how are Brits moving to Spain? And the first thing I want you to understand is that just because we had Brexit doesn't mean that you can't move to Spain on a permanent basis. Think about our cousins over in America and Canada. Now, they've not been part of the European Union, right? So let's say that those guys wanted to move to Spain. How did they do it beforehand? Well, they'd get themselves visas, or they look to see if they've got any European parents or grandparents and get themselves an EU passport. So these are the two ways that Brits, following Brexit, can move to Spain. Number one, and I really hope this applies to you, is you look back all the way to your grandparents and see if there is an Irish or European grandparent there where you can qualify and get yourself a European passport, taking away the need to have a visa in Spain. Because the thing about visas in Spain, they dictate how you're going to be living here. Two examples of this is going to be the non-lucrative visa. The big deal on this one is you're not allowed to work, which is why we commonly refer to it as the retirement visa, versus the work from home visa, where you move to Spain, you bring a job with you. In an ideal world, you keep your UK, American or Canadian income, you live in Spain working from a home office, and you benefit from the low cost of living and your high salary. You're winning on both sides of the coin. So there are two ways that people with non-EU passports, in this case we are now Brits, non-EU passport holders, can move to Spain. Look for an Irish or European grandparent. If that doesn't work, then we need to qualify for a visa. And when I say qualify for a visa, that's exactly what you're going to do, because they're not randomly given out. Oh, like you're lucky today, you've won the visa lottery. It doesn't work like that. If you've got the qualifying criteria, then you will be issued a visa. So what do we need to understand? A couple of things that we're going to need is, number one, a clean criminal record within the last 5 years. Private medical insurance, a medical certificate off of a doctor, in most cases an address in Spain, although, you know, that can be worked on, and to show that you are financially stable. You see, the thing about Spain is they want you to come and live here without taking their jobs, because you're going to be a tax resident when you live here with a visa. So in an ideal world, you demonstrate that you're not going to become a drain on public resources via showing sufficient savings or passive income for the non-lucrative visa. You can message me and we can discuss this in detail. And it's basically the same for digital nomad visa applicants. You have to show that you've been working for a company or you've owned a company for the correct amount of time, and also that you've got sufficient salary coming in. It's going to be about 33,000 euros for yourself, and then it goes up depending on how many family members you've got. But the good news is, guys, there are ways to move to Spain. And I get it. You might think, you know what, I'm a little bit disappointed. I decided on Monday last week I want to move to Spain, and it's not done by Friday this week. Well, guys, that's just the way it goes. You want to put a minimum 18 months of planning into this, because in a lot of cases, we're going to be selling assets like our primary residence to finance a move to Spain. And what does this mean? It means that we have to understand the timeline to offload those assets, as so that we can do it in the most tax efficient manner. Anybody that ever says, John, I want to move to Spain and I want it now, I know full well they've just come back from holiday and they want to move. But that quickly runs out of steam. We have to be in it for the long run. Message me. 60 minutes with me is going to save you hundreds of hours of research. I work with some of the best lawyers in the country, Just Law solicitors. Together, if you're moving to the Costa Blanca, there is no better team. I'm on the ground, NIE numbers, tours of Costa Blanca, and I'm there every step of the way. I'll see you on the beaches of Spain when you get here.